Right, let's get on with the show, and we start with the bigger stories of the week. Ian and Hannah, have a look at this.
It's Boris Johnson's first family photo. Are you one of mine?
Yeah, I've got to wash your hands of everything, really.
And Michael Gove there, looking for someone to blame. And finally, a metaphor there for thinking things through before you commit.
This is why we need schools to open.
I am not man, a number, of course, a message we can all get behind.
Having effectively persuaded us to stay at home, the government is now in the position of trying to persuade us not to stay at home anymore. And this is a bit of a problem because people got very scared and then they're staying a bit scared. So things that most people think should happen, like schools opening, we've got to open schools eventually. But everyone suddenly got very scared and said, we don't want to do it now, we don't know how to do it. Are we going to be safe enough? And again, there hasn't been much of a lead in terms of saying, this is what we'll do, it'll be fine. So there are lots of things we could do. But again, no one's sure about the science. But luckily, I've got a scientist on my panel, so whatever I say, even if it's rubbish, I will blame her.
Yeah, I take full responsibility. I think the thing about a lot of this is that there's a difference between the risk to yourself as an individual and the risk to your family and the risk to the country as a whole. And while there are certain things that we can probably do, we can probably risk it as a country as a whole, people slowly going back to work. That doesn't mean that the individual level risk is non-existent, and I think that's the reason why it's just this strange contradiction. You can see your boss, but you can't see your family. Your cleaner can come round your house, but your best friend can't. It's just we're in this strange limbo between the two states.
Well, yeah, it's just been so confusing from the beginning. That's why, isn't it? At the start of it, Boris Johnson was saying, well, we must shake hands, and then changing his mind. So you must not travel unless you're going somewhere, and must stay at home at all times when you're not out, and go to work but not travel there, so you must float, and that this will come in on Monday unless Monday falls on a Monday, and then they wonder why people are confused.
Well, that made more sense, to be honest, Mark.
Primary schools in Denmark have been open for a month. How did that go?
It actually went okay. So there was a bit of an increase in transmission initially, and then it stabilised again. So actually, it looks like so far it hasn't had the terrifying effect that many people fear.
What is one of the more confusing aspects of I've just noticed here's a question I should have asked you earlier. What's one of the more confusing aspects of the government's Back to Normal campaign? It is I'll give you the answer. It's the planned return to school of primary-aged children on June the 1st. What did Michael Gove say about this?
You're accusing the government of being confused, and you've just given us the question after we've given you the answer.
If you won't all say things in the right order for the pieces of paper they've given me, remotely, from your flipping homes on the other side of the internet, within a few minutes on Andrew Marr, Michael Gove made two claims. Do you know what the first claim was?
I'm not a sex offender.
I don't think that... Well, I imagine he may have said that.
But he didn't know, did he?
There was no risk of sending children back to school. And then he said there was a risk.
He said, yes, teachers will be safe. And then a few moments later, he said, no, I can't guarantee it, that no teacher will be infected. What did people do with their newfound freedom this week?
They went to the Lake District and to the Peak District and to wander around in Wales and Cornwall.
They flocked to various beauty spots throughout the country, including Dorset's famous beach at Durdle Door. Let's hope they disinfected the Durdle Door handle.
Some people are so brilliantly. There's a bloke I heard on a radio phone, and he was radio phoning, and he said, I'm 83, and he said, I'm going down the market stall same as normal, because look at me, there's nothing wrong with me. And I thought, well, yeah, but there's something about the nature of disease you've not quite grasped, that even with really bad diseases, you are generally quite fine up until the moment you get the disease. There are no diseases. I mean, I have to ask Hannah for confirmation of this. As far as I know, there are no diseases so bad they make you ill before you get the disease, you stupid idiot.
I can confirm that's science fact, by the way. That's definitely science fact.
Brilliant. That's one fact we can lock in. Following the government's confused message about whether to stay home or go out, one man tries to do both.
Moving house.